Ooh. Hey, oh, how we doing? We're live. Lovely, lovely. Right. What a week it's been. How's everyone going? Welcome along. This is the Dawn Stays live stream. We've got some things to show you today. Some lovely trinkets and whatnots. So, yeah. If you are from the other side of the water, happy Thanksgiving. Just an excuse to eat a bit more turkey. Lovely. I'm a fan of turkey myself. Right, I've got to sort out the fire alarm. Oh dear. Right, well that's all sorted. So excuse the siren in the background. That's just the smoke machine. Lovely. Right, how'd you turn it off? Ha ha! Blimey. Right. Lovely. Right, so sorry about that. How's everyone doing? So we are streaming. There's a few things I've got to show you, a few toys that I've bought. Trying to get some gadgetry sorted out, what I think is what I think are good products for my future life. Not my next life, my future life. So in other words, stuff that I can take back to the UK and use with relative ease back home. Obviously, living out here for so long, I'm quite used to things, how they work here at the moment. But obviously, I will be buying some replacements of equipment so I can have multiple setups both here and at home. Well, in my two homes, let's say. But I don't really want to be spending umpteen amounts of my precious money on stuff that I can bring back with me relatively cheap. If you see what I mean. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so we're going to do a couple of hours this evening. Hopefully everyone's okay, and we're going to start the evening as we mean to go on. Let me just shove out a little message, just so we've got the posse in the house. And let me just take a glass of water. Oh, it's lovely, that. Nothing like a bottle of cold water to get you going. Right, so yeah, how's everyone going? How's everyone doing? Got some stuff that I need to go through today. Got some products that I want to review. I've actually changed the Skype background as well due to complaints that I got last week for not being modern enough, which is not, you know, hey ho, is what I say. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, we'll just wait for a few people to join. So I'm rambling on for a bit. It looks like we've got a fairly good stream quality. So far we've got 0 drop frames, which is amazing. I was having problems earlier with plugins. Sound was dropping out from bits and bobs and stuff, but that's basically due to my I have a aggregate device on this system because it's a Mac and it doesn't handle audio like the PC does, so you have to install a third-party plugin to allow you to create an aggregate device, so OBS sees it as a new device. But anyhow, hey ho, it just means that I can have background music running in the background, as you can probably hear, and if I play anything on the screen, then you should be able to hear the music from or hear the sounds from the system, so that just makes it a little bit more interesting. But every now and again it decides to go mental and just stop working. I did have a message come up on my YouTube in Chrome, and it said, if your content fails to load, please restart your device. And I'm thinking, I'm not using a device, I'm using a computer. So yeah, Chrome just went a bit mental. Right, so what lovely jubblies have I got today? Let's see where we are. Let's see where we're at. So I've got some stuff that I need to go through. Top of the hour. It's 6 p.m. ladies and gentlemen. 6 p.m. Lovely. So yeah, I hope everyone's getting ready for Christmas at the weekend. At the weekend, decorations go up at the weekend. So we're almost done here. So we had a little bit of a dry run earlier. So we shall see how we are. So I've got the VPN on, connected on. That's okay. How do? Shouts out to the crew. So that's a Zello call. So we'll see how we get on. I'll probably get a man in the background coming on in a minute. So I hope everyone's well. Like I said, excuse me. Oh, I had gammon for my tea. Parched, I am parched. So yeah, basically we'll see how far we get tonight. It's a cracking stream we've got, cracking little cracking signals, so that's great. We've got some solid, just over 2000 kbs upload, looking crispy in high definition. I can still say high definition because the 720p is still classed as high definition, so I can still say that. Coming at you live in HD, high definition. Anyway, so looks like we've got people dropping in and out as and when. There you go. Well, we're all back now. We're all back in the hood, so that's good. Lots of stuff went on this week. Lots of gadgets, lots of disappointments, highs and lows. Oh, it's all been going on today. This week. We have a couple of little things to show on the stream tonight. One is, let's go through them one by one. So this is the new blade. Look at the shine on that. So that's the new blade. You can just see the grain in it. I must say it was a lot duller in the picture, but anyway, it's not bad. It's a nice little chef's knife, 20 quid. And we're going to compare it. If I put it down carefully without chopping my fingers off, we're going to compare it to the old chef's knife that I was using, which cost about 8 quid. I can't remember where I bought these. I think these were the pack of 3 from IKEA, if I remember rightly. There's a butcher's knife, a chef's knife, and a fruit knife. All a pack of 3 for, I don't know, was it 3 for a tenner? Can't remember. Anyway, we're gonna have a look at those close up. I've got a new Skype background because obviously I had complaints last time for being too old-fashioned. So we're going to rock out some of this now. I've had a little bit of a redesign. Not so old-fashioned, not so new-fashioned, but you know, actually that crop's cutting off the top of my head. Let me just adjust a little tad there, and then tip that up there, and there we go. Lovely. Live editing, there you see, we're professionals. So that's the new Skype, the Skype background, obviously because the golden, my favourite golden frames are not welcome anymore on this channel apparently. So hey ho. So what we've got to show you today, we have some live. I've got to show you this because I bought this. There we go. If we do that, bang! See, got a new thing there. So this is a new little TV box that I bought, and it cost me £20. I bought this for the projector originally. Obviously the I wouldn't say debacle, but the issue I had with the projector, that went back. That got collected this morning by the express man, so that went back today. And I'm still on the fence about whether I'm going to replace it. I might wait until I get to the UK before I do that, simply because I need to do a little bit more try before buy, possibly. Looking at prices, the big models, the ones that everyone likes, like the Epsoms, the Optimas, things like that, they're the same price all over the world by the looks of things, give or take 50 quid, give or take shipping and tax basically. So they're pretty much the same retail price here as they are over there. The only things obviously over here, you get the you get the what's it models, the China, made in China models. Now the problem with those, as I found out, they're still hit and miss on their production quality levels. Don't get me wrong, the projector itself, it was in a nice case. The plastic was, I would say, not expensive, cheap plastic case, but it wasn't flimsy. It just didn't feel that premium compared to modern day molded plastics, as you would get in molded other molded plastic stuff. So yeah, that was okay. It didn't have a zoom ring on it. The focus, the lens itself, when you twiddled the focus, because it was a manual focus, when you twiddled it, it almost felt like it was going to pop out of the thread. It was, you know, that kind of feeling you get when you twiddle a cheap projector lens. You get that kind of plastic on plastic, that thread, and it's all a bit wibbly wobbly, and of course that adjusts your focus because the thread is not kind of level with the lens. So that was a bit disappointing. Focusing was quite difficult, but then that was my eyesight. I had to put my glasses on to focus it because everything's out of focus anyway when I was looking at it. So once I got my glasses on and I sorted it all out, I basically downloaded a 4K test signal thingy, test card, 4K test card, not the one with the rubber doll on it and the girl playing the writing on the chalkboard, not that one, but one where I could twiddle with the white balance and all that. Got all that done. The brightness of it was fine for the room. It was perfect. I think it came out as about 3,000 lumens. ANSI, whatever they call them, 3000-ish. They said 3004, but yeah, give or take, it looked about 3000. The bulb was powerful. Again, the fans were loud. They weren't ramping fans. In other words, I mean, you know what ramping fans are. They were fixed RPM. So turn it on, full on RPM, regardless of the temperature of the bulb, which I thought these day and age is a bit old tech. The software itself, it had a Google, an Android firmware in it, basically, and probably what it had inside is what I'm about to show you. Yeah, and it was all bolted together, and then it looked like a single LCD. It wasn't DLP, it was LCD, but it looked like not the 3 LCDs that you get on the Epson. It was like a single one. I'm guessing with the 3 LCDs you get on Epson, you get one for the red, one for the green, one for the blue. So you get the richness, the colour richness is much better. On this one, being a single LCD, obviously it had to process the whole colours on the whole thing. So once you shone a light through it, it just bleached everything out, and the contrast ratio of it was horrible. Trying to get people's skin tones, it just was. I just wasn't happy with the picture, and I was chatting to the guy, and he was being. The guy at the factory, he was being very vague and like, and I added his social media, so we were chatting quite well, because we were chatting through eBay before, so which is not as convenient, but we added each other's social media, so we were chatting away. And his original plan, so he told me the day I returned the package. To be honest, I think he was killing time, because after a certain amount of time, eBay automatically, when I say eBay I mean Taobao, but it automatically basically what am I trying to say? It automatically says that you've accepted the product and everything's fine, so you can't return it, right? So I was keen not to let too much time go, and obviously I was keen to make sure that I could return the product in good condition, because obviously I feel it fair that if you're going to use something and return it, you need to return it in the condition that you got it in, right? Because that's taking a piss otherwise. So I made sure I kept all the packaging, all the plastic bags, everything else. I packed it up like, it was not a fingerprint on it, it was spotless. I mean, okay, I used the bulb for about 35 minutes while I was tweaking everything. And like I said, I tried all the. I was running the Fire Stick through the back. That wasn't a problem. I couldn't get the Bluetooth thing to work. I'll show you that as well. That came through the post the other day. I couldn't get that to work. But it works as a product, but it didn't work in the way I wanted it to work with the projector. So that's gone out the window. So I hardwired the sound bar to the projector. That worked fine. That was all good, but I still think the best way to do it is have a Apple TV with 5.1 digital out, and then have that going into an amp, and then the HDMI going into the projector. That's the best. Well, that's how everyone does it. That's the best way, and that's how I'm going to do it in the future. So anyway, that projector went back. I'm still on the fence whether to buy, because again, the one I'm looking at is 700 quid. Now it's 700 quid in the UK, it's 700 quid here, so I'm not saving anything by buying it here, apart from all I'm doing is giving myself a headache by trying to ship it back and risk tax and customs and damage. So I might just wait until I get back to the UK after I've done a bit more research, sat in front of a bit more screens, and maybe borrowed a few, hired a few, just to see, because I've also been looking at different kinds of screens, and now they say that you should project on a black screen if you want good quality image because of the contrast ratio. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. So now you've got anti-reflect screens, you've got grey screens, you've got black screens, you've got white screens. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna risk spending 700 quid on a projector when my £10 screen is not going to do what it's supposed to do. So that was out the window. So again, that went back. Funnily enough, the screen's still on the wall because it only cost me 8 quid. So the screen's staying where it is. So whatever. And also the tripod and everything, that's still there because I had that anyway. So that's no loss. Right, anyway, let's get on to the goodies. So this TV box, right? I bought this in what this was for. I was going to plug this into the projector and have this as my media source. I'll give you a little tip. That's what it looks like. So it's called the T95, right? It's a very plasticky box. It's got a little old school display on the front, like bedside clock. So that's quite useful when it sits in front of your telly. It's very light. There's not much to it, let's say. It's about half the weight as an Apple TV. The reason being is the Apple TV's got a 240 volt transformer inside, whereas this hasn't. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I went down the rabbit hole. I do apologise, but like I said, these things, I spend a lot of time on getting these things, and like I said, I had it up there, and I didn't have any buyer's remorse as such because it didn't cost me hardly, and it cost me 230, 40 pounds, and yeah. Like you say, you buy cheap, you buy twice. Right, so anyway, let's move on. So this TV box originally was for the projector. So again, I bought this one because it's a export box. It's got SD card in the side. It's got 2 USBs for external devices. It's got an HDMI, it's got an Ethernet, and it's got a audio out. Right, not digital out, just audio out. So it's not quite as spunky funky as a Apple TV, but 20 quid. And this model here, I'll just zoom in if I can. This one has 4 gig of RAM and 64 gig of memory. So it's the top of the top of the range. Because again, the range was about £12 to £20. £20 being the more RAM and the more memory. So I've got it wired in. Comes with Android 10. So if we have a little gander, so I'll just switch over here, press this magic button over there, and then if we go back, so this is the user interface. It's in sleep mode at the moment. There's the control. The control, again, quite plasticky, but anyway. So yeah, this is your. I'm guessing it's Android 10. You've got loads of apps that you can install. I installed these myself. So I installed MX Player, Plex, UK Turks, UK TV radio streaming, VLC, file linked. It's all the side loading hackery. Obviously YouTube, Prime Video, Netflix, which I haven't got an account to, so it doesn't matter. Some sexy time stuff, BBC iPlayer, Chrome, blah 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 blah. Right. So as a player, as a little media doodaddy streaming device that plugs into your telly, I was pretty impressed. I was pretty impressed with this. So let's go. Let's do Plex. And this is running my. Again, this is running my. Yeah, let's go to the Christmas playlists, right? So these are your Christmas playlists. Now I made these up for. This is what's going to happen at Christmas for the. Where are we? There's all the James Bonds, all the Saws. There's the Christmas one there.
Do they do a version of that with the digital out?
They do, but not for 20 quid. That's the tricky. Now, what I will find out for you is if they do, because, like I said, this was just me doing a. Oh, this is X-Men. What's going on here? It's not Christmas playlist. There's Christmas playlist. Right. So, like this is Plex running on this box. Again, this box is running on Wi-Fi at the moment. And yeah, I mean, this is just obviously I can't play a lot of this because it's going to get slammed with copyright. But you'll get the idea. It's basically talking to my Synology, which is on the same network, and with any luck, should play.
I would love that box there, but with digital audio out. It'd be amazing.
Well, like I said, this is the first. There, so this is Plex. This is I think this is 4K. This is 4K. 4K out. I mean, look at that. That's pretty good picture. So anyway, I've got to stop it because I'll get copy doodad. But so yeah, obviously I've been running Plex for quite a long time. As you can see, these are all my how I organise my movies. I use them. I organise them by year, and then I've got 4K a 4K selection. If I go down to I mean, obviously that's why I call it Timflix, right? Because I don't ignore the XXX. There's nothing on there. But if we go to USA TV shows, and then obviously this is my library of USA TV, and obviously I've got the Mandalorian, which I was watching. I've got Ted Lasso, Scrubs, Billions, it's all all USA TV, obviously, right? But what the beauty of Plex is, obviously, all this artwork and stuff is all downloaded from the web. So this is season 1 of Mandalorian, season 2 of Mandalorian, which has just started, and then yeah, I just go through, I just watch them, and let's see a little bit of Mandalorian at the beginning, see if that plays. Resume from 6:45. I mean, it's pretty much like Netflix, but for people with their own media. So all this media has been downloaded, and it's sitting on my server. And of course, I can guarantee. Let's stop that before I get what's-itted. I can guarantee quality. I can get decent rips if you like. And yeah, so that's Plex. And then obviously you've got other players. I mean, VLC, everyone's familiar with that. Netflix, obviously you need an account to watch it. Sports Live is a live streaming app. Again, a lot of these don't work. My YouTube works because I've got the VPN linked to this box, but only linked through the Ethernet, not through the Wi-Fi. So YouTube, if I open the YouTube now, it won't work because it's not there's no VPN. So that'll just keep that wheel will just keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning because it won't get any network, right? So that's that. And again, 20 quid, right? Now, bear in mind, let's go back home. Let's twitch me to this. Let's do that. Let's go back. Right, so there. So bear in mind, this. Let's try and show you the back. It's plugged in. So there you go. So that's the back of it. You've just got an audio out. There isn't actually a cutout for digital, but I'm guessing there will. I'll contact the supplier tomorrow and ask him for some. Now this is actually an export only box, because when I ordered it, it asked me, do I want a US plug, a UK plug, or a European plug? So they come with different plugs. Now, what I do like about this box is, although it is a doodah, it's a 5-volt machine. So that means if you get one of these, you can plug it into a USB port. So camper van, baby. So that solves your camper van streaming issues. It will. I mean, it's running Android 10, right? So it will stream from an Android device or an Apple device. So you can stream from your phone to this device. So even if you just want to, show a PPT or something on the screen, perfect little box. And again, how much are you paying? Now, excuse me. I don't know what the prices are of a Fire Stick. Let me just check. Right, let's do amazon.co.uk. Let's go Fire Stick 4K. Right, so a Fire Stick 4K at the moment is they're knocking them out for 20 quid. So it's similar price. This one, I think, what's the difference between that one? Ah, okay, no. The 4K Fire Stick is £30. The normal Fire Stick is £20. That's a Black Friday deal. That's 33% off, 40% off. And that sale's going until December the 1st. So you can pick them up for very similar prices as this little thing. Now the problem with that is the Fire Stick 4K also doesn't have digital out. It only has the Xiaomi TV stick is also £35. Again, I was looking at that as well, but this box is better than the Xiaomi Fire Stick because it comes with Android 10, which is a more open system. You can put Google Play on it and you can pretty much load whatever you want on it. Even a game you can load on it. I mean, it's like having a little cell phone in a box. I mean, I'm looking at an Apple TV now. Let's put that down here. I don't know why I'm doing this, so I can get you involved. There we go. So I'm looking at these Apple TV 64 gig, £200. Now, admittedly, it does have a what's it out. Now, this is the reason why a lot of people run their home cinemas off Apple TVs, because they have that digital out. And obviously, if they've got DTS encoding, this will handle the DTS encoding, and then it will encode the audio to the digital out and then the video to the HDMI. Now, if I'm right in saying that you can have DTS encoding through an HDMI cable as well, if I'm right in saying, so you can actually decode it from the HDMI. But I'll have to do some more research on that. Oh yeah, here's the one I've just reviewed. So this is exactly the box that I've reviewed, £44, and I paid 20 for mine. So this is a same thing. So this is exactly what I've just reviewed. This one. So this is Android T95 with Android 10, quad-core, 64-bit ARM processor. It's got support for H.265, all the bits. Bluetooth 5.0, so it will do streaming audio on Bluetooth. HDMI, smart, all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't have the digital out. So what I will ask is, I'll ask the supplier. Here's one here, slightly cheaper, but it's 32 gig of RAM and ROM, and not 64. And it comes with this plug because it's the UK plug. So again, this is the exact model I was looking at. So again, in China they cost 15 to 20 pounds, and on Amazon they're 36 to 45. Now obviously bear in mind shipping, tax and profit margin. That's probably why they're that much. Yeah, but I will call the supplier tomorrow, and if there's one available with the digital out that has been tested by me, because I won't recommend anything I haven't physically tested myself. And this box is good, but not for £45. If you want to pay, if you're gonna spend that much, then save your money and just get a Fire Stick. Get a 4K Fire Stick, because they're also great, and you can also put Plex and stuff on there, but you have to do a little bit of jiggery poker if you want to side load anything, but it's not that complicated actually. You just need to download the downloader and do it. So again, the 4K Ultra HD Fire Stick is £30, so that is good. The other box is Ultra Media. What's this one? I want to see what this box is. This one here. This looks like a Xiaomi by the looks of it. Okay. USB. Again, you see HDMI, USB, power and audio. This one's got two USBs, an SD card, so you can actually do a RAM upgrade. What you can do with this one is you can actually put a 256 gig little SD card in this and load your movies up on there, and that'll give you a good chunk of good chunk of movies to watch on a little box that you just plug into your television, and off you go. So there's that. Now what I've got coming tomorrow, so this is the end of the T95 review. I would recommend this, but not for the price that they're selling it on Amazon. This box is not worth 50 quid, but it's definitely worth 20, which is what I pay for it. So there might be one of these coming back in my suitcase for shizzle. Again, I will look for a digital out, and at the same time, because I have seen people plug their HDMI cables into soundbars to get the Dolby Digital decode from a 2.1 HDMI. The X99 Max Plus, is that on Amazon or? Oh, okay, yeah. X90, okay, right. Yeah, you're still looking at 50 quid. This is Android 9, this one here. Let's go back, where are we? There we go. So this one here, this is Android 9. This T95 is rocking Android 10. You've got 58 quid. What does that get you? So that gives you 64 gig. What does this get? What's this one get you? Trying to see the difference in price. 8K? I don't believe that. I mean, this one, to be honest with you, this one looks like exactly the same as this. If you look at the, if you look at it from this angle, with the USBs and the SD card at the side and the display on the front, and then we go to here with the, okay, so this one's got digital out. So, right, so if that one's got digital out, as you can see from the cutout, I don't know whether it comes with it or whether the box has got space for it, but it's definitely there. And then that would then indicate to me that this, let's see if this one has digital out. Yeah, that one has, but it could be the same picture. And this one has. Does this one have as well? Yeah, that one has. So I need to figure out See that Amalogic, that's the processor for the system. Over the air updates, yeah, okay, OTA, over the air. LAN, gigabit LAN, yeah. BT 4.1, this is BT 5.0. Again, 2.45 gig Wi-Fi, yeah, 32 gig or 64 gig, yeah, mine's 64. So again, it looks to me exactly the same box. The only thing, this box physically doesn't have a cutout for the digital. If it did, it'd probably be here, but there is space for it. So I'll call the bloke tomorrow. Yeah, like I said, the X99 Max has got 3 price points. So my thoughts would be, the first one's 1080, the second one's 4K, and the expensive one is 8K. But I would take that with a pinch of salt, because it's very easy to slap on a 4K, 8K sticker when it's actually not really true 4K. Because I'm looking here and it's telling me let's see. Right, I'm just getting some of these specs out. Can I shrink this page a little bit? Got more control now. So I'm looking at here, and it's got video decoder, supports profile 2 up to 8K. Then it's got all the, now these are they can be quite misleading, the actual proper frame rate. So yeah, it's got audio decoder, supports MP3, AAC, WMA, RM, FLAC, and programmable with 7.1, 5.1 down mixing. Now, again, that is not what you want, because you don't want it to be down mixed, do you? You want it to be true 7.1 or 5.1. So, as I say, let me do some more inquiries. There's my box there, the T95. This X99 looks like it's from the same factory, by the looks of it. This one's got, this one I think is slightly newer. This control is different than mine. There you are. This control's different than mine. The box is the same, as you can see. So yeah, there was a lot of them on the on the thing. This is the Xiaomi box. Again, this is the global version, so this will have English. Now again, the beauty of having an Android one is it's got English language on it, as well as Chinese. If I was to buy this box in China, unless I bought the global one, which is only probably available in Hong Kong, then this would be Chinese only, which is a nightmare. So you definitely want English language. So I would definitely make sure it's got Android running in the background as part of the setup. That's for shizzle. So yeah, let me do some inquiries tomorrow. There's some different prices, but like you see here, this one's 50 quid. So what's the difference between your one for 35 and this one for 50? And then you've got 58, and then you've got 79, 73. So it's like, you know, that's getting up there, definitely. So I definitely need to ask, what's the deal? Also, I need to know what they've got in stock as well, because this time of year buying this kind of stuff is not really ideal because of Black Friday and all that kind of stuff. So let me see. Yeah. Oh, so that's the TV box. So I had a good play with that today. So that's good. This is the little Bluetooth transmitter. So this is the opposite end to that box that you've got. So this is the transmitter. So it plugs into the output of a stereo or wherever. You've got to plug a power in there, like a USB cable, and then this sits in the middle of the cable, and that transmits high quality thing. Now the beauty of this is it can have two people wired on headphones. So if you were to plug this into a back of a projector, for example, you could have two people listening on wireless headphones, Bluetooth headphones, to the movie at the same time, which is kind of cool. Probably a lot of projectors have these built in, but hey ho. I also picked up a modem. One of these little puppies. Now the reason I picked up this particular one is because it can be side loaded with a lot of funky cool firmware. So what I've done on this is I've side loaded a firmware onto this, which allows me to install VPN to this router. So anything connected to this router will automatically be running through a VPN, which is good for streaming movies or doing whatever you need to do. What you also can do with it is you can tell it to have VPN on one of the radios, because it's twin radio, like 2.4 gig, 5 gig radio, obviously. So you can have VPN on one of the radios and have normal on the other radio. So you can have your phones and everything on VPN, but have everything else on the device running directly without going through the VPN. So things like your doorbells and your smart TVs and all the other bits, you have that running on 2.4. So the Bluetooth transmitter is, of course, my favourite brand, Ugreen. It's the brand that I will recommend. It's about 20 quid. You can pick it up from... They are available on eBay, I think. Amazon also has them. Again, look for Bluetooth transmitter, and it has to be the AVLS high fidelity, low latency chip, because they've got two different chips. One's a couple of quid extra. I sent you an email with all the details regarding the receiver. The same applies for the transmitter. They will work with, they are interchangeable. It's just that the codec is the higher level codec, which is lower latency and higher quality. So if we do a quick Bluetooth transmitter. See, these are my lovely cables, you see, the ones that I like, the old aluminium tipped with the thing. So let's try. So again, that's the one I told you about. That's the similar model that's in yours. However, this model comes with RCAs. Now, as you can see, this one is not the ALP. I'll have to check the specs on that. Let me come back to that, because it looks like it is Bluetooth 5 as well, same as yours. These, don't bother with these, they're crap. Again, this is your, same one. Now, if you go to AliExpress, you can get exactly your model delivered directly from China, but obviously it's going to take months to get there. Here's another version of the this is a Bluetooth receiver, but it still needs power, don't forget, so you still need to plug another USB in the end of that, so it's not as funky as it looks. So let me see if that one is available on Amazon. Oh, these I could recommend these headphones as well. These headphones are very good for the price. Again, high fidelity audio, high fidelity. Not these ones, no, those ones. These ones. For the price, they're brilliant. Honestly. These got noise cancelling. That's even better than mine. Yeah, they're very good. High fidelity audio. yeah, I love Ugreen. If you want any cables, I've got that for Sonny's Mac. That basically is a USB-C to HDMI hub. And again, look at the price. If you was to buy this in the Apple store, it would cost you 55 quid. You know, look at the price you're paying. I mean, obviously I can get it a little bit cheaper, but it's still, and it's solid aluminium. It's not plastic. So it's if you're rocking a Mac, it's definitely worth the price. I mean, again, Ugreen, you can see the quality of them. They're definitely the ones to look out for. I've got that adapter. This one's a nice little case. I think it comes with a magnet at the back. I see a gravity auto clamp. So when you put it in, again, these clamps are quite good, but they're quite chunky funky. So your ones are very discreet and minimalist. These are kind of stick to the window a little bit more. Yeah, you know what I mean. So anyway, it looks like the transmitter thing's not available. So if we go to Ali, go to Ali, and then just check. Because the actual thing I got, I can't. Transmitter. Right, let's see if it's in this lot. Now you see with Ali, you see, this is where people come unstuck, because what they do is they look at this and they go, oh, that's all right, 14 quid. But again, these are by factories that haven't got, I mean, I've got this one here. Now, this one, a friend of mine bought it for me, but this box here compared to the Ugreen box is just night and day. This is like really thin plastic. It's the kind of one that goes kaiji, guanji. It's like that. Yeah, you're looking for the aptX codec. That's what you need. Sorry to be delayed. I've not been looking at the chat window. But yeah, these Ugreen. Let's see if I can get Ugreen up. There we go. Let's just go Ugreen Bluetooth, see if it's there. So there we go. So it's this one here. So this is the anything with that little Qualcomm X logo. That's what you want, because it's the Qualcomm aptX low. What's it? Now this one here, this is I've got this one, right? But they do one with an optical end. So basically what that means is you can get a digital out over Bluetooth if you've got a system with a digital out. Now, one thing I have noticed on your Range Rover at the back, there is a digital out, because you've got the, if I remember rightly, that's where your CD multi-changes are. And if I'm right in saying, you should be able to go, yeah, no, that won't work. Yeah, ignore that. No, I was going down a rabbit hole there. Sorry. But yeah, anyway, anything with a digital output, you can give it a Bluetooth signal, but you won't get it. It will only be mixed down. It won't be. What's it? Now this is what you're looking at. The no audio delay Qualcomm low latency aptX chip. That's what you've got in yours. And I think, if I remember rightly, this one here. Again, if it's got this one, if it's got this logo with the aptX, that's the one you want, regardless of the jacks or whatever. Because if I'm right in saying, they do that one and that's got no aptX. Oh yes, it has. So this one's got aptX. This one comes with a cable. This one also comes with a cable. this is RCA to RCA. This one's RCA to jack. So that comes with the cable. So if you buy this package, then that will go straight into your aux in. The reason I didn't buy this one, because I knew we were going from jack to jack. So this is designed for plugging into hi-fi. So that's why it's got the RCAs on it. But because I knew we were going into your car, I went and got the jack version because it's actually thinner. It's not as fat because it has to incorporate the RCAs. But the innards, if you like, all the bits and bobs, yeah, they'll be there. They'll be there. But that £23 delivered is a good price. Like I said, yeah, this is your one. Yeah, this is your one. So this one's £10.53. So that, to be honest with you, that's pretty much near as damn it as what I paid. I think there's two. One's got the AP, so this is the standard one, where it says standard style, yeah. And this is aptX style, which has got the different codec in, and again it's £2 extra. So this is £10.50, this is £12.50. So if that's delivered, that's pretty much spot on. But the problem is with that is it's delivery 20 to 40 days. So yeah, but this is exactly what you've got, and I don't think you can buy these ones in, from what I saw. I think the only ones on eBay were these ones. But anyway, these are both tried and tested. Ugreen is definitely a brand to trust. They're like the Xiaomi of funky products. They've got a lot of products. They've actually got their own website. Actually, you can go to Xiaomi.com and they've got their own website. This one here is another one with a built-in speaker, so very similar. It's also got SPDIF, this one, and yeah, I'm not sure the what's it of this. Transmitter, oh, it's 2-in-1. It receives and transmits. So yeah, so that's 26 quid. And then this one here is a similar thing to what you've got. This one has Bluetooth controls for the phone calls. This is a hands-free kit, so this will plug into your car vent, plug into your power, and then you've got your aux. Now the problem with that is, if your connections are in the back seat, this will be no good for you, because you won't be able to put this in the front and have this plugged into the back, because the cable won't be long enough. I guarantee you that. So it needs to be in the kind of car where you've got the aux and the aux in and the cigarette on part of this dash down here. So and again, it's basically, you know, now my argument is, if you've got your phone here and the button here, what's to stop your finger going from there to there? There's no, you know, there's no point. I haven't tried it. It's going to be 17 quid with the aptX Qualcomm chip, 14 quid standard, 17 quid. You also get a charger, what's it, with that as well. But again, this charger is not as good as the one you've got, because I bought them separately as a package. So this one is a cheap plasticky one, whereas your one is a chunky high ampage aluminium one. So similar thing, but they do hubs and they do anyway. Highly recommend Ugreen. They're a friend of the family's. In other words, I like them a lot. Right. Right, shall we have a look at some knives? Oh, hang on, before we go to knives, there's one thing that I need to tell you what's going on tomorrow. So what I've also bought is a Lenovo, if I can find the what's it of it. Right, let's go here. Right, let's go Google. Let's just press this button. I've got a shortcut. Right. Right. So what I've done is I've got myself one of these. Okay. Now this is they call it a tiny PC. Now I bought mine for, I've got the 4.6. This comes with the for all you Linus Tech Tip people out there, this comes with a 4670 CPU. The one I've got is the 4690, so it's the, I think the T means it's turbo boosted to higher frequencies. I've got 8 gig of RAM, like this one. I've got 256 gig of SSD, and it comes with Windows 10, and I paid £160 for it. Did I pay that much? No, I paid less than that. I paid 135. Anyway, I'll tell you exactly how much I paid when it arrives tomorrow. But basically, it's a mini PC. It's smaller than a Mac Mini. It's got an external power supply. It's got it's got DisplayPort, 2 USBs. This won't be used. It's got built-in Ethernet, which is great for networking. It's got USB on the front as well. It's got mic input, headphone output, and this is the fan. It's got a built-in fan as well. And I'm thinking mobile editing rig. So what I'm going to do is, when this comes tomorrow, I'm going to put Macintosh on it. I'm going to hack it. I'm going to put Hackintosh on it, because this particular model is compatible with the Hackintosh community, and they've just come out with a tool, if you like, to help with the process of building the EFI partition, which is what you need to boot into in order to fool the computer to thinking that it's a Mac. Anyway, all that tweaky geekery nonsense is basically almost a few clicks. There's not, it's not even as hard as it was to do mine. And I've only done mine like 6 months ago, not even that. So within 6 months, it's gone from severely messing about. Well, basically, it's got quite good. It's as fast. Let's put it this way: it's as fast as a 2014 iMac. Right. So if you 2000, I was running 4K video, editing 4K video on a 2011 iMac, and this is as fast as a 2014 iMac, and it will have the latest Mac software, which is Mac OS 11, which is Big Sur, which is very clean and polished operating system. What that means is you can run Logic and Final Cut, which is optimized for the operating system, which should run very cleanly. Now, again, I've seen the YouTube videos, and I've seen them. I've seen the installations. I've seen various people install, and you could pick these up if you look online now, and look to see how much you can get a Lenovo M93 with a 4670 CPU or a 4690 CPU on eBay. Because if they're £100 with a SSD and a CPU, then they're worth it. Now, some of them are being sold because these were massive in the business community because they strapped onto the back of the monitor. So everyone's desk had one of these. So there's so many of them about. So, and of course, because it's all Intel and the CPU has built-in graphics, it's compatible with Mac, because a lot of the Macs, the laptops and the cheaper iMacs, they all use built-in graphics. And the 4670 and the 4690 has 4K built-in graphics, so they will run a 4K monitor. You can run 2 monitors off this. I've seen it used. So let me go onto eBay and see if I can find one for sale, second hand, because we don't want to be paying new prices, because what's the point? We'll also need one of these cards as well in order for the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to work. It does have a Bluetooth card, but it won't be compatible with Mac, so you just swap out the card to this. Now the beauty of this little thing is remembered all my selections from last time. The beauty of M93,
I think I've just found one for £55.
yeah, you'll have to be careful because you need to check the specs, because if it's an i3 4130, you don't want it. You want you want basically the highest number you can get. So this one here, the i5 4570, 8 gig of RAM, 2 times DisplayPort with Wi-Fi, 2 terabyte HD. That's a monster spec. So that's 150. That's quite good. Now what you can do is you can swap out the SSD, and you can swap out the CPU, because they're not soldered to the board, they just clip in. So it's really user friendly to change it about. Now this one here, this is the one you want to go for. So this one here has got the 4590 CPU, which is the one I'm getting. That's the top line CPU. It's the 8 gig RAM, which is 2 RAM sticks, again top of the line, and the 240 gig SSD, £140. That's a good price. It's a very good price. They are hackable with Mac, and I'm going to hack mine. I'm going to put Mac on it just to see how it runs and what we can do with it. And at the end of the day, all failed, you can still you can just delete the hard drive and install Windows, because it comes with a Windows 10 Pro key. So you've got Windows 10 for free. So there we go. This is the excuse me, I'm going to Jesus. So this is let's see if I can get that bigger. Can we? Right. So memory bus speed 16 megahertz. Like I said, this was top of the line. This was top of the line in 2014, 2015, right? It's a 4th generation CPU. So it's a Haswell. And again, it's equivalent to about a 2014 iMac. It's 4-core. 4-core. So the i5 4570 is a 2-core. This is a 4-core. Now that's what you need if you want to stream, or if you want to cut video. You want as much cores as you can, because obviously that's what's doing all your encoding for movies and stuff like that. It's not going to be quick, but it's going to be possible. It's going to be much quicker than the tablet, that's for damn sure. It will power a 4K monitor, but I would get a 2K monitor or even a 1080p monitor, because again, 21-inch monitor, 1080p or 2K, which is 1440, all good. So yeah, 150 quid. I think I paid, let's show you how much I paid. Actually, I have to do the conversion. The pound's gone up a bit again since yesterday, so I've lost a bit of money because of the exchange rate. Hey ho. Right, where are we? 1380. 13. Yeah, so I paid about 150 quid. So this, I paid the same as what that's on. So that one I just showed you with the 4690 CPU quad core with the 8 gig of RAM and the 256 gig SSD is a good value machine. And it's, if as soon as I know that it can be hacked with relatively ease, you should pull the trigger on that for sure, because or try and look for more, see if there's any more about. As I say, you might need to, the back of the system here is just held in with one screw, and you unscrew that one screw and the whole frame just slides forward. It's very modular and very user serviceable. So what you would do is, I recommend you unscrew it and just blow the dust out of the fan and just make sure there's no cobwebs and everything else, because that's what's going to keep it cool. You've got a what's it at the back. Now, what you can do, if it doesn't come with Wi-Fi, it's not an issue, because inside, if I can just show you, let's do a let's try and get an image of inside. Right, so let's try this one. So inside, so this is the actual motherboard of what we just showed you. So as you can see, it comes with a, if I can try and make this bigger. Right, so this is where you put your CPU, and again it slots in. These are the RAM slots, and again they slot in, so you'll have 2 lots of 4 gig. That'll be your RAM. This little CPU here, this little board here, that's your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And there's 2 tiny little antenna cables there. One goes here to that SMA thread connector at the back, and you put a little aerial on there. And there's another one that goes around here, either around there or around there, and it sits at the front of the unit. So it's twin band aerial basically. And then your hard drive sits above. No, that's where your fan sits. Your fan sits here, above here, and there's your heatsink and your fan. So there's your heatsink, and your fan will sit above there. And then above here is where your hard drive sits. I'll try and see if I can get a better picture with the hard drive installed. There we go. So this one here, if the picture comes up. Oh, Jesus. Because they were basically strapped onto the back of monitors like this, and most every office. I wonder if I can do that, and then make it bigger on my screen. No. Anyway, you can see, I don't know if I can zoom in a bit on there, no. But anyway, you can see the fan and the heatsink sit on top of the CPU, and then the What's-It drive sits on top of the Bluetooth card, and you've got an aerial here at the back. You've got an aerial here that just sits on top, and then you've got an aerial here that sits at the back, and it all sits in that little. There's another one there. There's your double RAM sticks. There's the fan, and obviously that's the tray where the hard drive slots in. Now some of them are sold without the tray because they've taken the hard drive out because it was a business machine. Now what most people do is they just plug the SSD in, because the SSD is really light and plastic. It just sits on top. They just look like they just plonk it in top, and it's all sweet as a nut. Again, the main beauty of these machines, there's another one, is that they're hackable. In other words, you can change the CPUs because you can just pull it out yourself. You can upgrade the SSD if you need to. Most of these came with a spinning hard drive, so they basically upgrade them to SSDs. You can buy a 128 gig SSD for 50 quid now. Not even that, 30 quid I think. Most people put in 256 because by the time you've installed some apps and sound libraries and stuff like that, you're full. But again, you've got USB 3, so you can just plug in an external SSD or an external physical drive where you want. And again, it's a little unit. You can take it anywhere. It's smaller than an Apple Mac. A Mac Mini. There's another picture of an SSD. This one looks like it hasn't got a tray, so they've just put it in and it just sits there. And this is a user upgradable part. And again, you just blow the dust out of the fans. I'll see I'll do a video on mine. There's another one. So this is the bare bones. So you've got the 2 RAM slots there. You've got the CPU slot there. That's where the heatsink goes for the fan. And then you've got your, this is your SATA plug for the HD, and then this is the power plug for the HD, and then that's it, done. And then you've got your aerial SMA connector, aerial here, plugs in there. That's where your Wi-Fi board plugs in. So again, if it doesn't have a Wi-Fi Bluetooth board, don't worry, because we just buy the 30 quid one that we saw, because some of them might look like this with no aerial at the back. So that aerial goes there, that pop out thing. So you basically drill that out and you put your SMA connector in there. And that comes with the kit when you buy the Bluetooth. And so if I do, that, and you'll see you buy one of these cards, and that card slots into that slot, and it will basically give you compatible Wi-Fi and Bluetooth that's compatible. It's this one here. So basically, you see these are your two tiny nipples, if you like, that your antennas will plug to. You've got your main antenna and your auxiliary antenna. This slots straight into the board, and because it's a Broadcom CPU, which is what Mac use, so it's instantly compatible with AirDrop and handoff and all that kind of stuff, which is what you'll need if you're using a Mac, because the Mac will recognize it as a proper Bluetooth thing, and everything will show up when you connect a mouse and everything like that. It will all connect. But yeah, mine arrives tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see where we are, make sure it boots up to Windows, because he's put Windows on it for me. Probably going to be all in Chinese, but it's probably all going to be in Chinese. So I've already got a Windows code. I'm going to be using it with this little touchscreen computer. Display. not computer. What am I talking about? So I'm going to be using it with that, and then yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what we do, and I'll do some specs. I'll run up Logic and Final Cut, and I'll do some, real world video editing and show you what it's like. And if I think that it's going to do what you need to do, I'll definitely tell you to pull the trigger, because at the end of the day, it's a tiny little PC, and if it works as what it needs to work as, it's great. If not, then it's just a blimmin' TV server that sits underneath your telly, and it becomes your television streaming device. Has my focus gone off? That's better. It's your television streaming device. Right. Let's do some other cool stuff. Oh, it's all go today, isn't it? Jesus. Right. Let's have a look at this. See where we are with this. Right, so welcome to look at that blade. Look at the state of it. Right, so this is I'm just going to put that there. This is my table, by the way. There you are. Let's give it a bit more light. There you are. That's my table. So there's a bit of dust on my table. There's a crumb. Yeah, oh dear, what the hell's that? Bit of virus. God knows. Anyway, so actually it's not. It's a scratch. It's a chunk that's been taken out of the. That's actually a bit of chunk that's been taken out of the table. It's tiny. Right. So this is the knife that we're looking at, the old school kitchen knife. This is what I cut my finger on, and this is what the blade looks like at the moment. So if we get to the edge, you can see it's like an old dirty country road, isn't it? All the bumps, and look at that. That's even got rust on it, isn't it? Jesus Christ. That's the edge of my blade. So I haven't seen the other one yet, because I brought it in without actually seeing it. So you're going to be the same. You're going to be it's quite hard to get an angle, because it's look at that. Jesus, it's like God knows what that is. Bit of hair. Oh dear, I hope you've not had your dinner. So yeah, you can see there's a lot of chunks and all sorts of stuff taken out of this. So yeah, I'm going to try and I tried sharpening it, but I think the steel's just so weak that it doesn't take an edge, because it's almost like chipped, and it's almost like it's been coated with something, and it's peeling apart. Whether that's because it's folded steel, I don't know, but it is rough as guts, isn't it? Look at that. Jesus, look at that one. Here you go. Whee! No wonder the thing doesn't cut very well. Jeez Louise. Right, so that's my blade. So I don't know whether that can be redone. Now again, we're not talking money here. We're talking now this is the big boy. This is the new one. And this is the first time I'm seeing this, by the way. So you can see it's got a finer edge. It's quite hard to see because of the reflection of the light. Let's try that. Where are we? Let's try and get the reflection. It's really hard as well, because the camera's trying to get the camera to slide. You can see that the blade is a lot smoother, isn't it? And I have used this already about 3 or 4 times. So it's definitely a more smoother blade. Whereas the other one was, well, you saw it had big chunks out of it and everything. So I'm guessing this is what's going to give you your nice clean edge. Where are we? Try there. Look. Let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. So, yeah, I mean, so that's the point. and then we can go down the edge here. You can see it's a lot. Yeah, I know, right? This actually does. It does cut, because you can see the blade is relatively smooth, as in a sharp blade, whereas that other one that had nicks and what's it's got. But again, it wasn't treated very well. Let's be fair. The other one has seen, where are we? Has seen a lot of action, let's say. And I've also changed my cutting style since actually cutting my fingers off. Well, not cutting my fingers, not off, but just cutting them. I've practiced trying to cut stuff properly without, anyway, it's quite hard to hold. And this is the other end. Where are we? There you are. That's the other end of it. So, yeah, when you're buggering about with microscopes, you do need a base where you can twiddle, where you can screw and move the table slowly, and you can get proper movement, because when you're zoomed in that much, a tiny little movement. This, again, that knife wouldn't have cut a brick at all. This damage has just been from the chopping board. It's what's happened is obviously the it's so brittle that it's just boom. It's just taken chunks out of it. And obviously, like I said, I used to chop, but then things used to slip out of my hand, and I used to slip the knife and it went through my finger. So I did that a couple of times. So yeah, I've changed my chopping style now. So yeah, we don't do that anymore. I wanted to spare my fingers. So this thing, because the actual blade itself is so polished, you can see it's like a mirror. It's actually like it just slides across potatoes and things like that. They don't get stuck. They don't get stuck to the blade. But they do. Let's say they do get stuck, but they'll slide across very easily. So if you're doing, potatoes or whatever, and the handle's pretty cool. I do like the handle. It's like a solid metal. Came in a nice box. I mean, it was a fairly nice knife. Came in a nice box. It was a fairly nice knife that I wasn't going to spend 30 quid on. So I spent 20 quid on it. So it says it's a chef knife with all the old doodies, but again, it's it's not a folded steel, whatever. But it does say 100% satisfaction or money back guarantee, blah blah blah. Yeah, whatever. It does work. So yeah, that's been my week. Like I said, I was really looking forward to the projector. I sat down, looked at the picture, and I'm like, this is shite. This looks like shit. It was literally like that. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute. I can't even sit through this kind of picture. And don't forget, I'm sitting here in front of a pair of 27-inch LCD computer monitors, right? And so anything that's vaguely not even better than what I'm looking at now, I don't get happy with it. And I to be honest with you, it was like, I'm not really happy with the television that's out there. But again, it's only a 300, 250, 300 quid telly. It's not an expensive one. In the theme of things, obviously money's relative, right? If you haven't got any, then 50 quid's expensive. But for a decent bit of electronics, you're going to be paying 300 to 500 quid. That's just how it goes. Anything else is just Walmart, made to a budget and whatever. But if you're technical and you know about the technology, then you know that things cost money, and you need to put proper chips inside and proper fish and all that kind of stuff. So the telly, I was looking at it going, oh, the picture's not so good. And I fiddled around. I spent about 20 minutes fiddling around with the brightness and contrast and all that, just getting it nice. And then I was looking at the movie going, yeah, that's nice. That's a nice warm picture, not too overblown, nice skin tones. The trees look green, the water looks blue, you know, and all nice and stuff like that. And then I put the projector on and it was like, what is going on? Everything's just white. It's just like everything's blown out. And yes, okay, I did go into the settings and start pissing around, but I thought it's just not getting to where I need it to be. It's just, I'm just like, the blacks aren't black enough, the whites are too white, the colour's not rich enough, and there's like if you turn up the colour too much, it's like the people's skin's all overblown. And it just looked horrible. And I thought, I can't sit through a movie like this, so how am I going to expect anybody else to get, you know, immersed into the film when the picture's so terrible? So, and that is even before I plugged in the sound bar and got, you know, tried to get the audio okay, because I was just not happy with the picture. To be honest with you, I think the screen's a bit pants as well. I mean, it is a nice screen. In other words, it's white. It's whiter than my walls, but it's not. It's got what's in it. It's got waves in it because it was rolled up without having a tube in the middle, so it was rolled up on itself, which basically turned it into a short crust pastry, you know. So, but again, it was a tenner. So without, you know, a tin of paint's going to cost a tenner, right? So without going mental, because I want to do it properly, but I want to do it sensibly. I'm not spending £100,000 on a home cinema. And at the same time, I can't expect to get something decent for 500 quid. So I'd quite happily spend £1,000 by spending 800 on the projector and then the rest on the, you know, on the screen and the peripherals, and then whatever's left, I will save up and buy the surround sound. But I won't buy a surround sound amp and then separate speakers, because that's just back to the old days. And you can spend thousands on that. You can spend 800 quid just on a sub. Well, you know, because of the Krell, right? So, yeah. And then we go back to that argument of how much do you use it and how much is it going to get used, and you know, and I think pulling the projector out every other weekend for a movie night is great. And having it just boom, 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 turn it on, plug it in, and sit down comfortably in a darkened room, productions, and watch a nice video. And I think that's the key. And at the moment, I'm not in a position to do that. So I think I'm going to wait until I'm back, and then I'll do some more research, and then we'll work out. Because one thing I was happy with is I've always had one of these. Another one of my gadgets. That's my camera's shut off. What a diddly doodah. Run out of battery. That's not good. Let's see if that works. Plug in there, old boy. Oh, anyway, I'll just shove it up on there. I had one of these. So, laser measuring doodah. Again, Unity, another brand I would recommend, a Chinese brand. They are the multimeter specialists. They also do OBD machines, code readers. So do a bit of research on Unity. Definitely a brand worth looking at. They do good stuff. I mean, it's clearly like semi-Milwaukee. What's the word? Inspired, if you like, by Milwaukee kind of colourings, but or Lindy. But again, without paying the prices, you get decent quality. It works very well. It's very accurate, and yeah, highly recommended. Unity, check them out. Any multimeters by them are good. So this was perfect by setting on the top of the projector tripod and just firing at the wall and just getting distance. And I was running at 3.5 meters, which is perfect for just slightly over 100-inch screen. So if you're looking at a 100-inch screen, 3.5 meters between wall to wall is the perfect. Oh, my music stopped. Look at that. Is the perfect distance. And I was impressed actually with the way I could zoom the projector in digitally. Get it. I basically got it as good as I could, physically, and then I was able to tweak the image. I was able to zoom it in a little bit, and then crop it in a little bit, and then do the 4-corner keystone, and just get it right into the edge, and that was perfect. The actual tweakage of the picture in that respect was great. The actual light of the projector did bleed over a little bit, but there was nothing being projected through it. But the better you can get it without any digital tweakage is the best, obviously. So get in the right distance between the walls and stuff like that. But a 3.5 meter to, I think it's, 2.9 to 3.5 is great for 100-inch. And unless you've got a projector without a zoom function, then you need to basically get the distance perfect yourself, which depends on your room. And then obviously you have some projectors that shoot from the side. I haven't used those, and I don't know. I'd prefer a rear facing, old school. Also as well, I need to figure out the height of the screen, because I think having it above the telly was a little. In this chair is fine because I can lean back like a dentist chair and kind of get that lean back view. But I think the angle that I'm looking at the screen at, I should be more kind of, actually the projector should be higher up, bouncing the light directly into my face rather than the projector, because I made the projector to be exactly the same angle as the screen, and then I'd be looking up at I'd be looking up at the screen from here, kind of thing. So I guess I should have had, anyway, that's something I need to do some more research on, which is ironic because I was doing video projection mapping like 6-7 years ago, but I just didn't pay enough attention. I was just like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I'll have to get I definitely want to see the difference between a 3 LCD projector like the Epson and a DLP projector like the Optima, because there is a big price difference. Apparently the DLPs are better, but the 3 LCDs are brighter. I'll have to get some research on that. So yeah. So we've gone through knives, we've gone through set-top boxes, we've gone through Bluetooth thingies, we've gone through laser measuring devices, we've gone through routers with flashed firmware and built-in VPNs, and looks like we've gone through the battery of my A5100 because I don't have it plugged into the wall. I've only got a battery pack for that. So yeah, that computer's arriving tomorrow, so I'm going to turn it on. I've got all the cables ready, I've got the displays ready, it all works. I'm going to run the display off USB-C. I've got a mini HDMI to normal HDMI, and I've also got a DP to HDMI adapter because this one's only got a DP output, which is DisplayPort. So you'll need a little DP to HDMI cable. Oh, UV9R. That sounds like a battle phone. Is that the bigger brother to the 5R? I will have to do No, I don't know why it does that. That's really annoying. When it goes full screen, that's better. Let me see. don't want it to be full screen. Sometimes having multiple monitors is a pain in the backside. Right, let's go here. Let's go UV 9R. I'm guessing it's a Baofeng. Ooh, nice. Oh, okay, it's that one. It's that chunky one. Nice. So 15 watts? Oh, 4 watts. Oh, you're doing it properly. That's boring. Yeah, 25 watts. I don't know, maybe you can tweak it in the software. But you can actually set the this mic's not bad. I think you can set the power output in the software. Because what I would do is I would get the unless it's called the UV9R plus HP, but that I don't know. Yeah, I'm guessing it's this one, isn't it? IP67, 15 watt waterproof. But I'm guessing you're getting the 4 watt one. But I don't know if you can adjust the power output in the software. And I got a feeling the software that I've already given in the UK, yeah, probably. To be honest, I think that's why I need a license to import my radios, because they have to be regulated to make sure they can't go outside of the PMR 446 licensed unless I have a license for it to say that I can use.
All the reviews I've seen, they basically said none of them put out more than 4 or 5 watts. It's a bit of a misnomer and false selling.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be honest, I've just heard your message, by the way, in case there's a delay. To be honest, it's the same thing with set-top boxes, talking about 4K, 6K, 8K. It's all a bit of a what's it, because when you look at the picture and your telly suddenly says 1080p, and you think, hang on a minute, I've just turned on 4K. We're talking about. But yeah, there is genuinely 4K stuff out there, but it's expensive, and most of the guys that I've seen, well, some of them I've seen on YouTube, they've been comparing pictures of a 720p projector, but obviously with a huge picture, a huge projection, and you can't tell the difference. So, but my projector, definitely I could. It was pants. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, for the price of these little thingies, obviously yours won't have a removable antenna. If I'm right in saying, because in order to be PMR watts-fitted, you need a static antenna. You can't have a removable antenna. But again, are you going to be, you're going to be using it sensibly, right? You're not going to be a prick. So, I mean, this one's looks like it's got a removable antenna because it's removed. But anyway, this is the UV9R dual PT. Oh, God knows. There's so many of them. Because what was that other brand that was big? Retevis, wasn't it? Retevis. They were a huge Chinese name that's gone into the PMR, because it's Baofeng and Retevis. But yeah, again, over here it's all Hytera and HYT, because it's all professional. Professional, like the professional sector, not the PMR sector. The PMR sector mostly is Chinese Motorola. And I told you about those little Motorola's that I bought. They've got a special Chinese license number on the serial number, so they've actually been manufactured through Motorola in China, specifically for the Chinese market, that are legal in China but not probably in the UK. They don't have a what's it antenna, but they're marketed as 12 watts, but like you say, means nothing unless you put a power meter next to it. And again, it's it's programmable from software, so I can put in whatever frequencies I want, really. PMR up to, like, I think 400 to 470, something like that. I can put anything in from those.
But see, that's the crazy thing. You need a license to operate the frequencies, but you can buy absolutely any radio transmitter you want and own it, as long as you don't transmit on it.
Yeah, in theory, because, like I said, not everything that's made can get imported to the UK. Because what I'm finding is that after doing a little bit of research, now again, don't quote me on this, because I've only been dipping my toe into the rules and regs of customs and excise in our blessed Blighty. But what I can gather is batteries aren't allowed due to safety reasons, and radios aren't allowed unless you've got a license. Now, if I'm licensed to import radios, then that's all well and good, but I'd only be able to be, the people that would only be able to buy them would be people with licenses. No, hang on, that's wrong. The people that would only be able to use them legally would need to have a license. So whether you're working as a security guard outside a nightclub, then that radio would have to be part of a licensed piece of technology that's allowed to be used on a specific frequency that's been given to them by a governing body or something along those lines, anyway. Because not everybody uses PMR, right? There's the event industry and the security industry, and they don't use PMR. They've got their own set of frequencies, but the people that are in charge of operating those, they have a license to do so. And I think if you're renting a venue with a comms, then you have a licensed comms engineer there to sort it all out. I think it's like that. It's similar to how fireworks work. If you hire fireworks for your venue, you need the person who's supplying and operating the fireworks to be licensed and regulated and insured, because it's obviously health and safety. So anyway, don't quote me, but that's yeah. And again, if it's coming from Hong Kong, then it's different than the one that's coming from China. Yeah, exactly. Business use taxi cab light. Yeah, that's a similar thing. Yeah. And that's why a lot of them, I think as well, if it can be programmed from the front of the radio, you need a license, because in other words, you can mess about with it and cause havoc if you don't know what you're doing. If it can't be programmed like mine, like these little puppies, they can only be programmed in software, then these are just dummy units, but they are rock solid bulletproof radios, and the software is extremely complicated. Whereas the Baofeng software is basically put your frequency in, put your CTTSS watt code in, and off you go. But yeah, I mean, as long as it works, right? But we can try that when we get back, because I'm interested to see the difference between let's say a budget Baofeng radio compared to a not budget Baofeng, because these I mean, the main difference between these ones, these are DMR radios. They're digital radios, so these can do DMR as well as PMR. That doesn't make sense, does it? You know what I mean? You can make a DMR version of the PMR frequencies of these radios, because they've got digital on, but they also have analog on as well. And again, I've programmed, just for shits and giggles, I've programmed half the channels of digital, half the channels of analog. So, because I don't need 16 channels of each, do I? And I think these have got 16 channels, but they've actually got two programmable buttons on the side, and I'm guessing you can have bank A and bank B, because I think the specs say you can have this 32 channels, but I'm not sure, and I don't know how to program these, because the software I use is all in Chinese, because the firmware of this radio is Chinese. This radio is only allowed to be sold in China, so that's another issue, because this is the TD520, and TD you can't buy in England. I think you can only buy the PD one, which has got the English what's it? It's a nightmare. Yeah, well, these ones are expensive. They're about 100 quid each. You know, and again, you go into the software's a nightmare. It's like you can't even download it from the website. You've got to have a special. You've got to log in and have a membership and all that kind of stuff, because again, you've got to be licensed. But obviously, China being China, they'll you bung somebody £1, they'll copy anything for you. So I was able to get the software used to program these. However, the Chinese version only works on this radio. If I try to plug in another one, it won't recognise the radio as a part of what it's allowed to program. So it doesn't work. I tried. Chirp doesn't work. Won't recognise it. Yeah, so that's something that I have to sit down and have more of a play with, because at the end of the day, I haven't really plugged it in and had a try. So that's something that I would like to do. The main issue is the language problem. I've got Windows over here in Chinese, which has all my programming software for all the Chinese equipment that I've got, like the Motorola's. That Motorola software doesn't even have a Unicode version, so even though the Windows is in English, the software isn't. So it comes up as all Greek. So in order for me to get a translation of what button to press, I've actually got to install the app on a Chinese language Windows system, which is a nightmare. So, because it's a handmade piece of software, it's not, it's not proper Motorola software. It's just, anyway, the joys of messing about in foreign countries. The only thing I would say is, thank God I'm not well, I say that because I was thinking about if everything you've got is in Arabic, it's the same. It's all squiggly lines, isn't it? They don't even have numbers there, so it's the same as Chinese, unless you physically in the Roman alphabet. Like I said, unfortunately, this 6400 camera doesn't have an English language on it. It's just Chinese, Arabic, Farsi, and some other language. And luckily, there's a language in there that uses ABC 1, 2, 3, and from that I can roughly work out what's on the menu. But if all of a sudden the camera says, blah blah blah, this is happening, I can't understand it, because it's like complete gobbledygook. It's like Greek. So I'll see if I go back to the UK, if I can get it flashed. There should be an option to flash the firmware with a UK or with a UK language. I don't know, but that was me not doing my due diligence when I bought it. I was a bit. It was one of the first things we bought with the settlement, so it was a bit flustery. So I ordered it without because I thought that, like with this A5100, it's a global language system. It has Chinese, everything, Cantonese, the whole lot. So I thought, because it's a Sony, it's going to have, like Androids, right? They have a global system, like Microsoft. It's global. Well, not Microsoft, Mac, but it's not. So yeah, they have regional versions, not just global versions. So that's another issue. And of course, the reason they have regional versions is because every country has their own laws. So they've got laws to say. I remember back in the day where some of the cameras didn't have Wi-Fi because they weren't allowed to because of the streaming of things. So yeah, it's all a bit funky. But if you buy, sorry, letting the cat out. If you buy anything from Hong Kong, you'll find the best. To be honest, back in the day, the best place to buy electronic goods was Hong Kong because of the tax and the fact that they had all the products there. The problem is now is a lot of the products that you need are not made in Hong Kong, they're made in China. So actually Hong Kong is not actually the best place to buy them anymore. So if you're talking about buying a Sony camera or a Walkman or something like that back in the day, or even an iPhone, Hong Kong would be the place to buy it. But nowadays, listen to that motor. Nowadays, it's Shenzhen, China. I mean, all these TV boxes, these streaming things, is all from China. So that's them breaks. So we'll see. Like I said, I'll chat to the bloke tomorrow and ask him what options does he have for digital out DTS decoding, all that kind of stuff, and we'll see what happens. Because basically, you want to get yourself an Apple TV, because the thing is, the Apple TVs they're £100, but they're tried and tested, and they've got all the they actually have the proper DTS Dolby Atmos decoding in the memory, in the menu kind of thing. So I don't know whether, I mean, this box is good for, like I said, this box is good for a caravan, mobile telly, somewhere with the second telly, if you like, because you can stream to it. So you can stream your phone to it. It's great. I mean, it's great for the kitchen telly or whatever, but for the home cinema, I still reckon you'd need to go with Plex and Apple TV, because the Apple TV will decode all the movies on Plex, and because the Plex will basically be serving up the MKV movie with the DTS audio already encoded on there, and the Apple TV will take care of all that decoding and farm it out to wherever you want it to be farmed out to. But the problem with that is you need to get some speakers with a SPDIF input, or you get a lot of issues because you need that digital decoder. So you need either a digital amp, and then you've got the extra money of that. They're about £2,000. Then you've got powered speakers that you need to buy. It's another £2,000. All the peripherals. It's just too much. So I'd probably looking at a sound bar with a couple of rears. So 5.1 sound bar and a sub. So sound bar, sub for the front. So you've got 3.1 at the front, and then your two surrounds at the back. So then that's 5.1. Obviously we won't have any Atmos speakers because that's your 7.1. They're your 4 at the top for your Atmos stuff. But again, without proper placement and proper install, you're not going to get the proper effect anyway. So you need to time align everything, and it's just like it's rabbit hole city. Tell you, it's rabbit hole city. So KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So that's what I'm going to do. But I was watching the Bourne Identity today on this in I think I was watching it in 4K because I was watching it in 1080p because the 4K version of the movie I've got has a massive twin audio track on it. It's got 2 audio tracks and a director's commentary track, and this just choked. My system couldn't decode it properly, so I just watched the 1080p version, and it was fine. The colours were great. There was no sync audio issues with the thing. I'm loving the Android Auto in the Android interface. I mean, it's not like a mobile phone, but it's got Google Play Store, so you can pretty much install anything you want on it. You can side load it. You can do all sorts of do what's it's to. It's good. It's a nice little thing. And again, for 20 quid, you can't go wrong. So, and with a bit of tweakage, you can have it, you know, because it's 5-volt supply, you can have it in your car. You know, have a little display in your car. You can have a 12-volt display in your car on 1080p HDMI. You can basically put a 12-volt to 5-volt transformer onto this and plug this into the power. It's on Wi-Fi, so you can have it. You can stream it from a Wi-Fi hotspot, which could be on your phone, and you could stream your phone to it. So, happy days, mate. I think it's a good little unit. Or you probably wouldn't even need to do that. What I would probably do, if I was a long distance truck driver, let's say for shits and giggles, if I was a long distance truck driver, I'd plug a behemoth USB key into the side of there, or even one of those SD card doodah, what's it? It's the same SD cards that goes into your windscreen window cameras, and I'd load up all my movies and everything on here. And you know, why do you need to stream Netflix? You could just have it all on here. But I guess people don't bother with that because they just buy a laptop, don't they, or a tablet, and they just have everything on there. So that's I guess is the thing. The problem is if you want to get a 20 or 17-inch screen, 21-inch screen, not 17 because the laptop's 17, but let's say a 21-inch screen or a 27-inch screen, a laptop or a tablet's not going to cover it, is it? If you want a decent screen installed in your truck or in your caravan or whatever like that, then this box, I think, is the perfect companion for it. I mean, I'd even double-sided sticky tape, stick it to the back of the telly, and you don't even need to buy a television. I would just buy a 12-volt monitor and don't even have any TV encoding capabilities, because you pay for all that. You just get a monitor. I don't know how much 12-volt monitors cost. Let's search, shall we? Let's search for a 12-volt monitor, 'cause I'm going down my rabbit holes. Right, let's see if let's see if we can get a 12-volt 21-inch. That's not going to do it. For Jesus, look at that light bar, £33. Yeah, I can see why people buy a lot of stuff on eBay, but it's a terrible mess for searching for stuff. It's all over the shop. And you don't really have a clue about what you're buying. And I don't know if you can return it if it's not good. So here's a 22-inch monitor for 100 quid. So it's $100. So let's say if you can convert this to work off 12 volt, and then plug that box in the back, because if it's basically just using a 240 volt thing that's converting it to 12 volts on the inside, then there's no reason why you can't just nip the back off it. This is like 1920 1080, nice IPS display. There's one even cheaper here for 100 quid. Well, it's $100, so like I say, these are all 1080s, they're not 1440. You want to get a 60 Hertz one, display port, or HDMI 1.4. Yeah, you need HDMI 2.0 ideally. So yeah, there's a lot to work out, but I think with a bit of tweakage and a bit of digging about, we can get a good idea, and then you've got yourself a computer monitor when you need it to be, and then you've got yourself a content consuming device to watch all your content on there, which is what you want. And also, because you've got Amazon on, there's no reason why not Amazon, because this runs Google Play, there's no reason why you can't download some games. You can. It is Bluetooth, so you can connect one of these to it. You just plug it in the USB dongle, plug it into that, you've got yourself a little games machine. There you go. So, I mean PS5s and what's it machines are good and all that, but you're pretty limited to what you can do. Anyway, 2-hour stream. What time is it? I had a nap this afternoon, you see. It was really cold this afternoon. It was freezing. I had a hot water bottle in the bedroom. Jesus. Absolutely freezing. So I had a nap, because the delivery driver woke me up at 9 o'clock this morning. Oh, the drilling stopped, by the way. They've stopped drilling. So they had 2 days of drilling. Now they've all stopped. So either they've run out of money, or the guys have gone off to another job, or they're waiting for the design. Who knows? But anyway, I'm going to call it a day today. Hope everyone's feeling well, and I shall see you. Let's try and do another one tomorrow, maybe. I'll see how I get on with that computer. So I haven't got the Wi-Fi card yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try it out as a PC first, because I've already got my Windows 10 installed. It comes with the Windows 10 installed anyway. Oh yes, you need to show me a link to these softy trousers, definitely, because I like I said, I need to make sure they've got Timmy sizes. So yeah, I'm going to try that, and then I'll definitely try putting Mac on it, and then yeah, I'll try Logic and I'll try Final Cut, and there's a few other cool apps that you definitely need for music wise, and you will. Yeah, if you know, like I said, I've got the new layout. You see, the new cool minimalistic Skype layout. So yeah, we can do some Skypeage. We can probably do some live specs. So what I'll do, because I can plug the laptop directly. What are you doing? So I can plug the computer directly into the stream via the HDMI cable, like I did with the box just now, to show you the interface of the box. And then we can do some specs. And then what I might do on Sunday when you've dropped him off, is I'll do the hack live on the stream. So definitely. So yeah, well, like I said, he needs to download the ancient Skype. So once he's done that, then we can do some work. If he hasn't got that, then it might be difficult. Like I said, because I'd have to. You won't be able to see me on Skype, but you'll be able to hear me. So it'll be like you had it last time. For whoever, it'll be a 3-way call, but I'll be coming through over this visually, but audially it'll be both. So you'll have to turn down the stream to hear me through Skype, because there'll be a sync problem, like 3 seconds or whatever it was. Euro, what are you doing, mate? Really? Honestly? This idiot. Did you see where he is? He's off the screen. He's over, just over there in that shelf. Anywho, right, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll chat to you a bit on Zello to make sure that all works. I'm on the Los Angeles server at the moment, so we'll see if that works. I've got to reflash this Asus to make sure I can put VPN on it, because VPN's playing up at the moment. I've reflashed the firmware of this, so it's not actually running the Asus modem firmware. It's running a third-party open source firmware version, which is really good actually. I didn't realise that there was such a community doing third-party open source modem firmware. You can do really cool stuff with this, so that'll be good. And then live, probably on Sunday, I will. So basically, what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to do the I'll do the hack. I'll do the normal running of the machine to see if it works. You can see him in the corner. That shadow is him buggering about in my shelves. So we'll run it up, make sure Windows works, try and get some specs, try and do some work on it, see if the touchscreen works, and then on Sunday I will re-zap it, and we will install OS X on it, and we'll do that live, and I'll show you how much of a faff it is to do that. It's going to take about 2 hours, I reckon. That's with no mistakes, so we'll see. And then we'll see what happens. And at the end of the day, you've got yourself a cheap PC that will do what you need it to do. Quad core, easily operatable, and if it can run Mac OS X, then that's a bit of a Brucey bonus, because you've got access to Logic Pro, Final Cut Pro, and some other cool apps, and of course all your bits and bobs, obviously, that are relative to Apple, which I prefer. And of course, if there is any issues, then I'm available for technical support, because I know this software quite well. But anyway, we'll see. Right, I'm going to catch you on Zello in a minute, and going to make a brew, and I shall see everybody in tomorrow. Week's gone really fast, isn't it? See you later, folks. Bye.